God bless you, everybody. I'm not gonna be before you long. I apologize for not coming on. It's been, I don't know, I guess about a couple of weeks, and the reason for that, I'm just very busy with kids going back to school and hybrid schedule and all that stuff, and trying to figure out the logistics of all that. But during that time, God has was still speaking, and I just wrote everything down for when I knew that I was going to have time to speak. So this morning, I'm going to try to get out everything that He has told me. So first up is this is to some people. It's not for everybody. Of course, all of these are for some people, not for everybody. But um, God says that there are some people who He has had as saplings. He has had as like these trees that needed support. You ever drive down the road, or maybe you even have in your yard trees that have um, a support next to it, or a stake that is tied to help it for when a storm comes in. It helps it to stay upright and not fall over, because their roots are not really established. And God is saying that He has had some of you like that, where He has had supports in place. Maybe it be your pastor, maybe it be a man, a fellow man of God or woman of God. And it's not that He's taking those supports away, but He's saying that your roots, you have He's saying, well done, that your roots have grown deep in Him, and that you have grown a lot, that you know more about the Lord now, and that um, it's time to stand with God and going directly to Him. You no longer need the as much support as what you used to. You no longer need all that support. He's saying that you are strong enough now, that you're no longer in a sapling phase. You're strong enough now that you can stand when a storm comes your way, when a trial comes your way. You're no longer just going to blow over. And so God is saying that He's proud of you. Um, but that the tendency is, when you have these supports that have always been there, the tendency is to go straight to those supports. And so you no longer, you can hear from God for yourself. Basically, you can hear from God for yourself. You can get confirmation for yourself, and that you no longer, for everything, need to go to your support system for everything. uh, you know, pastors and friends, and a godly counsel has its place. I'm not saying to throw that out, but you are now in a place where you are um, um, blossoming and blooming, and you you God wants to stretch that relationship even more. God wants to stretch the relationship that you have with Him even more. But if you keep going to everybody about every situation, then how can your relationship with the Lord grow? You understand what I'm saying? So also, when I did my research about trees and saplings, sometimes when you put that, if you keep that support in place too long, it can become a hindrance to that tree. Because what will happen is that the tree will depend on that support so much that when a storm comes, a storm is supposed to when a strong wind comes, um, that actually strengthens the tree. That actually strengthens the tree, and the roots will get stronger, because the tree will sense, oh, here comes a strong wind. I gotta dig in. I gotta dig in deep. But if that support is in place, the tree is then depending on the support, instead of building a deeper root system. So God is saying that it's time to wean off of your supports. Wean off, not get rid of them, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get rid of, you know, the godly men and women, but just rely on them a little bit less and a little bit less and a little bit less. Okay? Because God wants to make you a mighty oak tree to the point where you can then become a support for other people that are coming up in the Lord. And so God has something major planned for you in your development. And so you know, people always say this, people go to running around and everybody else is set for going to the Lord. And so a real man and woman of God will be teaching you to lean on God instead of them. In the beginning stage, yeah, you're gonna need all the support and everything. You're gonna need all those people around you to, you know, to hold you up. But after a while, you know, there's you know, there's a point where that baby Christian stage is over. You can't be using, oh, well, you know, I'm a baby. You can't be using that 10 years later, talking about something, I'm still a baby. If you still a baby, then something is wrong. You're around the wrong people who want to keep you in that baby stage for their own purposes. But a real man and woman of God is going to want you to go to straight to God. They're going to want to see you grow spiritually. You know, any parent, just speaking in the natural, any parent that has a baby, you know, you love that baby stage and you know it's so cute and everything, but any parent that is a good parent wants to see that child develop and um become a independent member, independent, what do I say, an independent, um successful, independent, successful, contributing member of society. And so it's the same thing with God. He wants, you know, he's going to want you to be not independent of him, of course, but he's going to want you to be able to stand on your own. And any man, woman of God, pastor, preacher, whatever, they going to want you to be, you know, to be able to stand. Because what happens, God forbid, you know, what happens, God forbid, you know, um if internet shut down, if the electricity shuts down, you know, um, and you can't get to those people. You can't call them in the middle of the night and be like, Pastor, this happened. Da, da, da. No, there's nobody to call. It's just you and God. And so we need to be prepared to stand on our own and to stand on our own with God. So, so you know, God bless you guys, and forever, for whoever this is for, God bless you, and just learn to stand on God, stand with God, you know, and read your word, do the things that you need to do in order to induce spiritual growth. You know, that's reading your word, spending time with in prayer with God, you know, all the things that promote growth in the Lord, you know. But when I was speaking about the the storms that come, and I know it's cliche, but the storms that come, they make you stronger. So some will experience trials, and the the inclination is to, oh, I gotta go call pastor because this happened, you know. You know, what if you can't reach them? And God is just saying that, you know, there are going to be storms that come, and that's going to make your roots go down so much deeper. It's going to make your roots go down so much deeper. But if you go and you call pastor, you call pastor immediately, then you know your roots are going to be stunted. Your roots are going to be stunted, and eventually that stake in the ground, that stake in the ground next to you as a proverbial tree, it's going to cause you to snap, you know. And I do a lot of gardening, so you know, when I stake my tomatoes, I notice that if you don't stake them right, I notice that there are times where that stake will do more harm than good, I noticed that the tree will like snap. I mean, the tomato will snap or whatever, the vine, because of the either it's too tight or maybe it's too loose. It's just, after a while, it's no good. And so, and then it could even start, if the tie around the vine is too tight, it could start cutting in to the vine and then ultimately kill the tomato, or suffocate, like I'd like to say, suffocate that tomato so the nutrients can't go through the vine. And so that's the same thing. you know you have to check your people. I'm not saying that they all, people can have, well, people can, but I'm not saying that, the people around you, the men and women of God, have evil intent. But sometimes if they don't step back from you, then it's going to suffocate you, and then your spiritual growth is going to be cut off. You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe there's no intent behind it, but some people can be suffocating, and they need to allow you to grow, to try to figure this thing out on your own. So, all right, so guys, that's it. I love you. God bless you. And until we meet again, which will probably be in like 5 minutes, because I gotta keep. I got all these. I'm so backed up with words of the Lord. So, but I'm gonna try to get them all out. All right. God bless you. Love you. Bye.